International relations can be defined as the study of the relationship and interactions among countries. It encompasses a broad spectrum of topics such as diplomacy, conflict and cooperation, global governance, and political economy. In Malaysia, it exemplifies the principle of international relations through its active diplomatic engagements and strategic foreign policy decisions. Therefore, Malaysia, a moderate, multi-ethnic, and strategically positioned Southeast Asia country, uses its cultural variety and geopolitical position to bridge the gap between the global north and south. Hence, Malaysia leverages international relations principles through its active involvement in diplomacy, trade, global governance, and which strengthens its global presence until today. The first role of Malaysia in international relations is building economic ties and development. Malaysia's role in international relations is significantly shaped by its dual focus on economic diplomacy and multilateral engagement, achieved through its strategic use of national resources, export-oriented policies, and the attractions of foreign investment. Malaysia's diplomatic involvement provides a foundation for building international trust and cooperation, reinforcing its trade and economic partnership with a wide array of countries and international organizations, an aspect that will be examined in greater detail. The first role of Malaysia in international relations is building economic ties and development. Malaysia's role in international relations is significantly shaped by its dual focus on economic diplomacy and multilateral engagement, achieved through its strategic use of national resources, export-oriented policies, and the attractions of foreign investment. Malaysia's diplomatic involvement provides a foundation for building international trust and cooperation, reinforcing its trade and economic partnership with a wide. Secondly, Asian Free Trade Area (AFTA). AFTA was established to enhance ASEAN's competitiveness as a global production hub, eliminating tariffs and reducing non-tariff barriers among its member states. Malaysia had removed import duties on 98.74% on its tariff line under Asian Trade in Goods Agreement (ATHIRAH), demonstrating its strong commitment to regional trade liberalization. This significant progress has facilitated a more open and competitive market environment within Asia. This effort shows Malaysia's strong support for regional trade and its key role in boosting economic cooperation and stronger business ties within Southeast Asia. Free Trade Zones (FTZ). Malaysia has also established FTZ as part of its broader trade facilitation strategy, enhancing its role in international relations by positioning itself as a strategic hub for global trade and investment. Designated areas such as FTZ allow businesses to operate with minimal custom formalities and enjoy tax exemptions on most goods and services, thereby promoting efficient trade operations and attracting both domestic and foreign investment, for example in Port Klang, Ratang Panjang, and Johor Port. This strengthens Malaysia's roles in international relations by attracting foreign investment and boosting economic ties with global partners, and supporting its position in the global trade landscape. Lastly, Foreign Direct Investment (FDI). It is an international investment where a foreign investor establishes a long-term interest and significant control in a business located in another country, typically to expand market presence. Malaysia has strategically leveraged foreign investment to transform itself into a dynamic and globally competitive economy. FDI has contributed significantly to the development of key sectors in Malaysia, particularly services and manufacturing. The services sector attracted the majority of investment with RM252.7 billion, focusing more on digital and knowledge-based industries like IT, finance, logistics, and e-commerce. Meanwhile, the manufacturing sector also remains strong, getting RM120.5 billion in investments, especially in high-tech areas like electronics, car parts, and semiconductors. FDI has enhanced Malaysia's global engagement. In 2024, RM170.4 billion of the approved investments come from countries like US, Germany, China, Singapore, and Hong Kong. By strategically leveraging FDI and engaging in global trade frameworks, Malaysia enhances its domestic economy while establishing itself as a key player in international diplomacy and regional integration.
Malaysia actively protects and promotes human rights through its laws, policy, and international rules. Human rights in Malaysia follow the Universal Declaration of Human Rights (UDHR), as long as they align with our federal constitution, especially Part 2, Article 5 to 13 on fundamental liberties. These rights include the right to life and personal liberty, freedom from slavery, equality before the law, and freedom of speech, assembly, and religion. The Constitution is the main legal safeguard of these freedoms. On the international stage, Malaysia has served as one of the members of the United Nations Human Rights Council (UNHRC). We were elected twice, from 2006 till 2009 and again from 2010 till 2013. During this period, Malaysia promoted values like constructive engagement, cooperation, transparency and respect among nations. Malaysia has ratified 3 key human conventions. The first one is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW. The second one is the Convention on the Rights of the Child, CRC. The third one is the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD. At the same time, Malaysia continued efforts to study and prepare for possible ratification of other human rights treaties. For example, the Ministry of Home Affairs MOHD ran workshops on the Convention Against Torture, UNCAT. The next one is the Ministry of Human Resources, MOHD, led meetings on the rights of migrant workers. There was an interagency workshop on enforced disappearance. The National Security Council has reviewed the Refugee Convention, and webinars, regional seminars were also held on other treaties like ICE, SCR. Other than that, Malaysia also contributed to humanitarian efforts. A notable example is the RM5 million donation to rebuild the Al-Rima clinic in Gaza, destroyed in 2021. This absolutely shows that Malaysia has solid relations with Palestine. Regionally, Malaysia chairs the Asian Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, AICHR. Under our chairmanship, AICHR started consultation for its next 5-year work plan 2026 till 2030, which supports the Asian Community Vision 2045. Malaysia continues to uphold the principles of the Asian Human Rights Declaration, AHRD, and reflects them in our national laws like Article 5's Protection of Life and Liberty and Article 6 Prohibition of Slavery. Now, I will pass it to my friend to continue on the next part.
Next is to focus in regional security. So, what is regionalism? Regionalism is when a country in particular area or region work together to maintain peace and security. This idea become more important after major events like World War II, the Cold War, and the process of decolonization. For example, of regional organizations around the world are ASEAN in Southeast Asia, the European Union in Europe, NATO that mainly for defense, and the African Union in Africa. Some organizations like NATO are very formal. They have strong military command and clear rules, while other organizations like Asia are more informal, relying on dialogue and cooperation without strict enforcement. Based on Barry Brisson theory on regional security complex C, the security of one country is connected with its neighbor. What happened in one country also affects the others nearby. Asia. Malaysia played a key role in founding Asia in 1967 alongside with Indonesia, the Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. One important contribution Malaysia made was proposing the Zone of Peace, Freedom and Neutrality, or known as SUHAIMI, in 1971, which aimed to ensure Southeast Asia are free from interference by external power. Moreover, Malaysia strongly supported the Asian Security Community, which aimed to build peace and help avoid or solve conflict in the region. Furthermore, Malaysia is also actively involved in the Asian Defence Ministers meeting called ADMM, which helped build trust among member countries. Later, Asia expanded this with ADMM Plus, which include major countries like the US, China, India to cooperate on security. Five Power Defence Arrangement (FPDE). In 1971, Malaysia, Singapore, the United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand created the Five Power Defence Arrangement, or known as FPDE. This is defence cooperation where if Malaysia or Singapore is attacked, this country will consult and provide support. FPDE member also conduct regular joint military exercise covering air, sea and land to maintain readiness and cooperation. One of important part of FPDE is the Integrated Air Defence System headquartered in Penang, which help protect the airspace of Malaysia and Singapore. Malacca Strait Patrol (MSP). The Malacca Strait is one of the busiest and most important shipping routes in the world. However, in the early 2000s, it faced high-level of piracy which threatened trade and safety. To tackle this problem, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand formed the Malacca Strait Patrol to work together. They conduct joint sea patrol and share important information to catch pirates and secure the water. Thanks to this cooperation, piracy in the Malacca Strait has dropped significantly, making it safer for ships and supporting regional trade. Five Power Defence Arrangement (FPDE). In 1971, Malaysia, Singapore, the United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand created the Five Power Defence Arrangement, or known as FPDE. This is defence cooperation where if Malaysia or Singapore is attacked, this country will consult and provide support. FPDE member also conduct regular joint military exercise covering air, sea and land to maintain readiness and cooperation. One of important part of FPDE is the Integrated Air Defence System headquartered in Penang, which help protect the airspace of Malaysia and Singapore. Malacca Strait Patrol (MSP). The Malacca Strait is one of the busiest and most important shipping routes in the world. However, in the early 2000s, it faced high level of piracy which threatened trade and safety. To tackle this problem, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand formed the Malacca Strait Patrol to work together. They conduct joint sea patrol and share important information to catch pirates and secure the water. Thanks to this cooperation, piracy in the Malacca Strait has dropped significantly, making it safer for ships and supporting regional trade.
Lastly, I will talk about how Malaysia promotes Islamic solidarity and moderation. Malaysia plays an important role in showing that Islam is a religion of peace, tolerance and progress. How? First, by combating Islamophobia. Malaysia fights against Islamophobia, which is fear or hatred of Islam. Malaysia do this by a strong diplomatic stance at international forums such as ASEAN, United Nations and OIC to show that Islam is a balanced, peaceful and modern religion. And Malaysia believes that Muslims can be independent, not always rely on Muslim country. Second is by rejecting extremism. Malaysia strongly rejects extremist groups such as the Taliban. What is Taliban? Taliban is an extremist group based on Afghanistan. They use violence to achieve their political and religious goals. That's why our country supports a peaceful and moderate way of practicing Islam, such as education and cultural exchanges to spread this peaceful message. For example, Malaysia invites Muslim students from other countries to study in Malaysia, which helps them learn about peaceful values and bring them back to their home countries. Third, as the leadership in the OIC, Malaysia is also very active in the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation or OIC. This is a group of Muslim countries that work together. Malaysia promotes peaceful solutions, cooperation in trade, education and more. The OIC even has praised Malaysia for helping with the Palestine and Rohingya issues because we show good leadership and support for Muslim communities in need. Other than that, promoting unity among Muslim countries. Since the 1918s, especially during Tun Mahathir's time, Malaysia has tried to unite Muslim countries. Malaysia wants to protect shared interests and reduce the influence of Western countries. Malaysia also helped create the D8 group, which includes 8 Muslim countries working together in economy and politics. This helped Muslim countries grow stronger by supporting each other. Lastly, peaceful image of Islam. Malaysia is known as Oasis of Moderate Islam because Malaysia promotes Islamic finance, halal food standards and Sharia law. Malaysia also helps other Muslim countries and communities like Bosnia, Palestine and Rohingya. And Malaysia hosts the World Islamic Economic Forum, which brings Muslim and non-Muslim countries together to work on economic growth. In conclusion, Malaysia works with other countries to grow the economy, protect human rights, support regional peace, promote moderate Islam and build fair cooperation between rich and developing nations. Thank you for listening.